Mr. Chairman, before I begin my questions, I would first like to express my dismay at the title given to this hearing, Planned Parenthood Exposed, Examining the Horrific Abortion Practices of the Nation's Largest Abortion Provider. The title alone is enough to call this hearing a farce. It is wrong and should be beneath this committee to state its conclusion without a shred of evidence and before we receive even a word of testimony. Perhaps the majority's conclusion explains why not a single representative from Planned Parenthood is here to testify about its practices. It may also explain why the chairman has chosen to ignore the request from ranking members Conyers and Cummings to suspend these one-sided investigations until they include the so-called Center for Medical Progress, which made the videos about which we have heard today. Of course, if we really wanted to hear about the practices of Planned Parenthood, we could have hours of testimony on the compassionate, comprehensive, and affordable health care services they provide women and families. But the majority is not interested in hearing that testimony. If you clear away the partisan rhetoric, it appears the chairman has called this hearing to examine how Planned Parenthood participates in fetal tissue donation, which Congress made legal with almost unanimous bipartisan support in 1993. In the years since, fetal tissue and cells have been used to make groundbreaking medical discoveries. If you want to find a cure for diabetes, for stroke, or for hundreds of other life-threatening illnesses, fetal tissues and cells are a necessary part of the research toolkit, and a moral part. The laws surrounding fetal tissue donation are simple and clear. Planned Parenthood has consistently and clearly demonstrated that the affiliates who participate in fetal tissue research, which represent about 1% of all 700 Planned Parenthood health centers in just 2 states, comply with these laws, just as they comply with thousands of other federal, state, and local laws and regulations every single day. That should be the conclusion of this hearing. But instead, before any inquiry, this committee has already declared Planned Parenthood guilty and chosen to capitalize on the sensational, unsubstantiated smears made in a series of unethical, possibly illegal videos. The goal here is clear: to smear Planned Parenthood. Senator Joseph McCarthy would be proud of this committee today. Sadly, this is not the first time Congress has been drawn into this charade. Every time it follows the same pattern. Extremists tried to entrap Planned Parenthood into unethical or illegal conduct and then make sensationalist accusations. But in no time at all, the claims are debunked and the investigations find no wrongdoing. This pattern is being repeated here today. Mr. Bopp, I would like to walk you through some of that history with you. Were you aware, Mr. Bopp, that in 2012, anti-abortion groups released videos claiming to show Planned Parenthood was conducting sex-selective abortions?
No.
You're under oath, Mr. Bopp.
I know what's in my mind, Congressman.
So you're not aware of that?
I was not aware of that.
Then you're remarkably ignorant for someone in the field. And it was not true. Mr. Bopp, were you aware in 2011 that anti-abortion groups released videos claiming to show Planned Parenthood condoned sex trafficking and statutory rape?
No.
You're still under oath. And following the release of those videos, Republicans in Congress tried to cut off funding for Planned Parenthood and nearly shut down the government. Are you aware of that?
Don't remember that they were connected in that way.
Okay. But you remember that the two things occurred?
You know, the older I get, the harder my memory. I'm trying to answer your question, Congressman.
Yes or no? Do you remember or not?
I don't know what your question is.
Do you remember that following the release of those videos, Republicans in Congress tried to cut off funding for Planned Parenthood and nearly shut down the government?
I've answered that question.
Okay. But of course, and your answer was that the two things that that Congress tried to cut off funding for Planned Parenthood and that government was nearly shut down, you don't remember if they were connected. That's your answer?
In that way, yes.
Thank you. But of course, Planned Parenthood had already reported the actors claiming to be sex traffickers to the FBI, so once again, not true. The list goes on. In 2010, videos falsely claimed women were pressured into abortion, not true. 2009, false claims about clinics avoiding parental consent, not true. 2002, false claims about statutory rape, not true. And for a real sense of deja vu, in 2000, videos were released claiming Planned Parenthood was participating in illegal tissue sales. But of course, when the man who made those videos came before Congress, he totally recanted his testimony, and an FBI investigation did not lead to any charges against Planned Parenthood. Again, not true. Mr. Bopp, were you aware of that hearing?
I don't recall it.
Okay. What is true is that the people who made these videos are liars in a long line of liars. It is true that if you had a shred of real evidence that Planned Parenthood is breaking the law, you would have taken it to a state or a federal prosecutor right away. But you didn't. Mr. Chairman, if you had even a bit of real confidence in the man who made these videos, you would have brought him here to testify before this committee. But you didn't, and you don't have that confidence. The fact is, this is all a farce designed to shame women for exercising their constitutional right to an abortion, to scare abortion providers into ending their services, and to eliminate options for women to access health services. This is all based on lies, knowingly based on lies. I hope the majority comes to its senses and realizes they have fallen into the same sad pattern of lies and lies that we have seen for more than a decade. I yield back my time.